and scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the story and technology. Let's tackle and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest.
Welcome to another exciting episode of The Issues on Voice of the People TV, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Jerry Apelihai. This is The Issues where facts matter and power meets accountability. Today, the temperature is rising in Nigerian politics. The African Democratic Congress backs Vice President Shettima, declaring President Tinubu has no right to remove a sitting governor and demanding an end to what it calls unconstitutional overreach in Rivers State. Meanwhile, Minister Nato Musawa says the presidency should remain in the South beyond 2027, a call for balance that stirs a sharp contrast with Kenneth Okonkwo's push for Northern leadership under the ADC. And at the heart of Nigeria's education system, JAMB fires back at social media falsehoods, exposing alleged fraud by a UNN medical student accused of manipulating his state of origin to gain unfair advantage. The stakes are high, the questions are loud, and the issues start now. Stay with us. After the short break, we'll dig deeper into these topics and more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has thrown its weight behind Vice President Kashim Shettima's assertion that President Bola Tinubu lacks the constitutional authority to remove a sitting governor, stating that Shettima was right to speak boldly. In a statement signed by interim spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC criticized the presidency's attempt to walk back Shettima's comment as political spin, insisting that truth should not be sacrificed on the altar of political correctness. The party accused President Tinubu of overstepping his constitutional limits in Rivers State, likening his actions to authoritarianism. The ADC drew comparisons to former President Goodluck Jonathan, who respected legal constraints even during the Boko Haram crisis, arguing that Tinubu has instead chosen unconstitutional means to interfere in the affairs of an elected governor. Calling for an immediate restoration of democratic rule in Rivers State, the ADC demanded an end to federal interference and urged President Tinubu to apologize to Nigerians for undermining constitutional order. The party reaffirmed its commitment to defending democracy, rule of law, and the will of the Nigerian people. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two esteemed guests. Here in the studio, we have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, joining us virtually is Bishop Dr. Gospel Bob Manuel, a public affairs analyst, former National Vice President, Institute of Strategic Management, Nigeria. We understand is still yet to join us. That takes us to Dr. Peter Anosike, who is live with us in the studio and taking a look at the situation. Did President Tinubu actually violate the Constitution by suspending Governor Fubara? And if so, what legal precedent exists for such action?
Well, the Vice President himself said it. Understand? So he said that a president has no power to even remove a councillor. And that when Jonathan wanted to remove him, that he sought advice from the Attorney General then in the person of Adoke. And Adoke told him that he has no right to do that. So that explains the whole thing. The Section 308 of the Nigerian Constitution, which gave him that power to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State, did not give him power to remove a sitting governor. So that's why I keep on saying that democracy died on 18th March 2025 in Nigeria. And since then, what we have been practicing is autocracy, government of one man. Because today, there's no judiciary, there's no National Assembly. The only existing organ in the country is the executive, headed by Boname Tinubu. There's no checks and balancing in the country. And where there's no checks and balancing, what we have is authoritarian government.
Okay, taking a look at this matter, why is the presidency attempting to walk back Vice President Shettima's remarks instead of addressing the substance of his claims?
Well, for me, there's nothing to address there. There's nothing to address.
So it's clear.
Everybody had the vice president on video, on tape.
Yes.
So
the whole world saw it.
So it was not a statement
that was written.
That was written or made by his media aide. That's Stanley Nkwocha. No, it was the vice president himself that made that statement. And that same day, he praised the RFI.
Is that a direct indictment of the president coming from his second in command?
Well, one, he has shown clearly that he and the president are not on the same page. That is what he showed openly for the people to know that he and Tinubu are not on the same page. And we know who Tinubu is with regard to deputies. Tinubu don't know how to manage deputies. As a governor for 8 years, he used about 4 deputy governors, or even 5. So, and by his antecedent, we know that he is not going to use what's his name, Shettima in 2027. And now Shettima is already looking for an exit path. And that's why he knows what he's saying, he knows what he is doing.
Does this show that there's already problems between the president and the vice president? And it looks like Vice President Shettima is not going to go down without fighting?
No, he is a Kanuri man. And Kanuri people by nature are fighters. Understand? Kanuri people by nature are fighters. So he wants to put up a strong fight. But the issue is now, he said that he was the #1 enemy when he was the governor.
Yes.
That's fine. It was him that stage managed the kidnapping of the Chibok girls.
Allegedly.
He was the one that stage managed the kidnapping of the Chibok girls.
To what aim?
They achieved their aim to make Jonathan to look bad. To make Jonathan to look bad, to give the impression that Jonathan doesn't have all the capacity to manage the security of the country.
So was it justified that Jonathan was making a push to remove him as governor? Because as at the time, Borno was the hub of terrorism. And would it have been right for the president to say, Governor, give away, let's have somebody on interim, declare a state of emergency on Borno at that in comparison to what we saw at River State, the Jamboree.
Nothing happened in River State.
Nothing happened in River State.
In 2014, 8 local governments were under the control of Boko Haram. 8 full local governments. Understand? So, at that point in time, there's a need for state of emergency because Borno was in a state of war at that point in time. But what Jonathan did was to declare a partial state of emergency by allowing the governor to stay because he sought the advice of the Attorney General of the Federation as a very humble person. And the Attorney General told him, no, you don't have the power to do this. So the governor allowed him to stay. The same thing with Montana Nyako of Adamawa State. At that point in time, Yobe, Adamawa, and Borno, there were state of emergency declared, but the governor stayed. And that time, Boko Haram was very, very strong in all those states. But in River State, nobody was even injured, let alone killed. So this shows you the difference between Jonathan and Bonda Ahmed Tinubu. The difference between an arrogant president and a humble president.
Okay, yeah, does that justify this is comparison of Jonathan's restraint during Boko Haram justified attack in Borno? And what does this say about Tinubu's leadership style?
I say Tinubu is a dictator from his DNA. He is a dictator. He has always been a dictator. That's why since 1999 to today, Lagos State is still in his pocket. He is the one that decides who becomes governor, who becomes deputy governor, who goes to the state assembly, who even becomes a local government chairman in Lagos State for 26 years now. That is dictatorship. That is dictatorship. Understand?
Yeah.
So that is who that's who he is.
Yeah, now it looks like the presidency is trying to manage the situation because
it's already out of the bag.
It's already out of the bag. How is the relationship of the president and the vice president going to be going forward ahead of the 2027 elections with this latest development?
Well, the science has already been there. Even at a point in time, Tinubu was acting as the vice president. So it has been a long time ago that Shettima was removed from the scheme of things. He was just attending to ceremonial duties, naming ceremony, housewarming, and so on and so forth. And they said that with what you measured, we measured unto you. This Shettima was calling Oshibanjo ice cream center.
You all remember that comment, those comments? Yes. He was consistent with calling him an ice cream man.
Ice cream center, that is sending ice cream. But for me, Buhari reduced Oshibanjo to money distributor. Yes. Going from one market to the other, sharing 10,000 naira. So I don't know where that ice cream center came from.
Yeah, I think during the campaign he was trying to sell ice cream and of course try to get the affection of the voters. I think that's where the ice cream man came on board and Shettima took it hook, line and sinker and used it as a will I say?
Derogatory word. But now his own time has come.
So what is he? He's not selling ice cream yet. Okay.
So it's a pity. So for me, he has declared war on the president.
And what does that mean for Vice President Shettima? Are we going to see a situation where he might be impeached?
Well, he's not going to be impeached because he's from the north.
Okay.
Understand me? But we now see a divided house. We now see a divided house. So now Tinubu will not be having sleepless night. So he will be watching his back, his side, everywhere, because Shettima has declared war on the president.
Is it that the president did not play his game well? Because now the Buhari boys are up on his neck. Now his second in command has taken cue. Is it dangerous for him to have such enemies ahead of the 2027 election?
No, Tinubu is a very arrogant person. Understand me? And they call him a master strategist. It works for him in Lagos State, but it cannot work for him in the whole country. One, Tinubu got 65% of his votes from the north. He got only 25% from his south west. Understand? So it was the north that made him president. But when he began to kind of bringing in institutions from the north to the south, I knew that he was trending on a dangerous path. Because some people, when he relocated some ministries under the aviation, then some ministries under the CBN, I know that he is not playing very good politics. Because what that means is that the northerners who were working in CBN, in aviation, and we are comfortable living in Abuja, will now come relocate to Lagos State. They will not be happy. They will not be happy, and that's where he began that to fail.
And even in his cabinet, and of course the juicy offices in all the armed forces and so on.
He surrounded himself with the Lagos boys, forgetting those that help him to become who he is. So for me, he overreached himself. And now he is getting, and by that he got his fingers burnt. So for me, I have no sympathy for him.
No sympathy for him, but let's take a look at the Minister of Art, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, has called for the presidency to remain in southern Nigeria beyond 2027 to preserve national balance and equity. She argued that Nigeria's political stability still relies on regional power rotation, especially as the country hasn't yet fully embraced politics based solely on merit and capacity. Musawa, a Northerner, emphasized that while she looks forward to a time when Nigerians will judge candidates only by their competence, the current reality demands continued zoning. She stressed that this approach ensures all regions feel represented, noting the need to carry both the North and South along in governance. Her comments come amid differing opinions within the opposition coalition. Kenneth, a member of the ADC, recently argued for a Northern presidential candidate in 2027 to defeat Tinubu, warning that fielding a Southerner would hand Tinubu an easy win. Meanwhile, figures like Yinka Oni insist it's still the South's turn to lead. Dr. Anosuke, how do Hannatu's comments reflect the deep-rooted reliance on zoning over merit in Nigerian politics?
Well, she's not even qualified to be a minister.
Okay, you're talking about Hannatu Musawa.
She's not qualified. Wasn't her the one that was serving and that couldn't produce NYSC this thing. One, she's not qualified to be a minister. She is inconsequential there. She doesn't speak for the North. She's just speaking for herself. Maybe it could be Remi Tinubu that told her that to go out and say that. Because everybody is now trying to see how they can gather that spilt milk together. Understand? So it could be Remi Tinubu that asked her that to go, that answer that. But she is speaking for herself. She represents nobody. Understand me? She represents nobody. Nigerians don't care who or their president is. What their concern is, are they feeding well? What is the cost of food in the market? How steady is electricity? What is the cost of transport fare? Understand me? And not who their president is. For me, I cannot have a president from Southeast and I'm going hungry. Understand me? I cannot have a president from the Southeast and I'm going hungry. Rather, I prefer a president from the North and I am going to bed with food in my stomach. So saying that it still remains the turn of the South, when over 200 million Nigerians are suffering, to me, it's not patriotic. It is not patriotic. So what she is representing herself.
Okay.
Then for Kenneth Okonkwo, I understand his argument. He is saying that picking a candidate, a southern candidate to compete against Tinubu, that the southern candidate would easily be defeated. And if you check, the North, as I said yesterday, by hook or crook, has the numbers on their side. And the politics is a numbers game. So if they pick somebody, a popular candidate from the North, which is the argument that Kenneth Okonkwo is making, and if you pick a popular candidate, an acceptable candidate from the North, and march against Tinubu, Tinubu is out. Understand me? Because South-East and South-South will not go with Tinubu.
So who will the South-East go for? Will they go for a Northern candidate?
I say South-East will go for a Northern candidate because we have not benefited anything from Tinubu's administration.
So what makes it sure that they will benefit from a Northern candidate?
At least let us try another person.
What happens to supporting another Southern candidate from the Southeast? Because under Buhari's government, the Southeasterners also complained that they didn't benefit. That they were marginalized.
Sure. And Northern candidates marginalize us. Our own Southern candidate is also marginalizing us. So it's better that he goes to somewhere we know that that person is not from our own stock. Understand me? It's better that somebody that I don't know denied me of something that somebody I know denied me of something. Somebody saying if you are stabbed at the back, what will pain you more is if it's your own person that did the stabbing. Understand me? So, Northern candidate Buhari is an Igbo hater. Then we thought that under Buhari, under Tinubu, we will get a better treatment. But under Tinubu, we are still not getting a better treatment. So in 2027, if the North comes with an acceptable candidate, the Southeasterners will go with the person.
What stopped the North from supporting another Southern candidate in the 2027 election, for instance?
Well,
so that the South can complete the 4 years that's left.
Excuse me, this commission of 4 years.
To create balance. So
it is not written anywhere.
Is it written that the North must always produce a president?
Democracy, everybody has the right to aspire.
Would that not be unfair? Because the numbers already create an imbalance. Because if we are going to do it that way, that means we'll have the North succeeding itself at each election. Would that create balance? How would the Southeast feel?
Can we go to the books? If we go to the books, you see that Jonathan did 6 years. 2 of the years is for the North. Are you aware of that?
Definitely aware.
Okay, so when you are talking of
No,
banners,
if we are going
we know what's
to
happening.
allow free fair play, because that only happened because the death of Yaradua. For instance, if we are to go to the polls on 11 playing field each time, we'll be having the northern candidate replace itself as succession. But that should not be the case. There should be a balance. For instance,
what you should be talking about is a competent candidate, not where he comes
have
from.
we got it to the stage where a competent candidate will match, and they will not be biased to this man is for my region, this man is for my religion, let's vote for this person, instead of competence? Is Nigeria ripe for competent
What we should be talking
leaders?
about is a competent candidate and not where he comes from. I say we have tried another candidate in the person of Buhari, 0. We have tried a southern candidate in the person of Tinubu, 0.
Okay, so now competence should be at the forefront.
So competence should be at the forefront. So yeah, that's why I say if the North can bring up an acceptable candidate, understand me? Acceptable candidate, a strong candidate, and the match against Tinubu, he will beat Tinubu hands down. Because now some people in the southwest, in the south, are now calling of southern unity, which is a fraud. Understand me? I don't want any unity. Understand? Because you cannot take what belongs to me and be saying I should support you. Olusegun Obasanjo is from the south. He ruled for 8 years. Goodluck Jonathan is from the south. He ruled for 6 years. Remain only southeast. Then power coming to the south again, a Yoruba man that take it. Understand me? He didn't say though it should be left for the southeast. He took it and they are now looking for our support. They will not get it. Understand me? They will not get it. Southeast will vote for a northern candidate. That if P2B is not on the ticket.
Okay, I'm taking a look at this. What does the disagreement between ADC's Kenneth and Wike reveal about the position's unity and strategy for 2027?
There's no disagreement. Everybody is saying what he feels like. Understand me?
What favors them?
Remove Tinubu in 2027. What is there for Nyesom Wike? So he's trying to protect his own interest. Because as long as Tinubu is there, he is still powerful. Understand? Okay. And we don't pray for him to continue to be powerful. Understand me? So that's why we are praying, let Tinubu go.
Okay, we understand that we have someone else who is with us because a bishop could not join us, and we have a Comrade Yinka Oni, a human rights activist and former coordinator, Take It Back Lagos. It's great to have you join us on the issues.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we were just talking about the issues of, we first of all started off, we're talking about Vice President Kashim Shettima's comment about the president not having the right to unseat even a councillor. The presidency has come out to try to downplay what he was actually saying, which eventually it has gone viral. The world has seen it. And the ADC said he was right. So that the president should end the state of emergency in Rivers State. What's your position on Vice President Kashim Shettima versus the sitting president?
Shettima sleeping when Bola Ahmed Tinubu made that decision. Where was he? You know, he has been the vice president since 2023. You know, so he didn't say anything. Human rights activists were shouting, lawyers and all, that it is unconstitutional for you to remove a sitting governor, you know, for whatever case. But he went ahead and Shettima didn't say anything, you know, and suddenly he's speaking now. Nigerians should not be fooled by a sudden remark. It's basically just a power play. Probably there's something wrong within the APC regarding his vice presidential ticket for the next election, and is trying to lobby and fight and all that. But it is clear that what Bola Ahmed Tinubu did was to take us back another 30 years. You do not remove a governor by decree and order. How our executive removed is either through impeachment or resignation. Not a president sits in Aso Rock and say you are out. State of emergency. What state of emergency? The state of emergency in Benue, in Jos. People are dying over and over again. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not care about that. Or over a power tussle between Wike and Fubara, he suddenly cares about River State, which is basically him just preparing for 2027 also. So shame on both Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima. I don't take his word serious. It's pathetic of him to be responding at this time.
All right. Do you think now that he's fighting back, is there a situation where he might be impeached, or we're going to see more of this along the line and creating a lot of problems for Tinubu ahead of 2027? Or is it going to be Shettima winning at the end of the day, still taking up the vice presidential position ahead of the 2027 elections?
I'm going to give two analyses. The first one is what I'm happy to happen in terms of let fire keep on burning in the APC camp, because that camp is not doing anything to improve the livelihood of Nigeria. So you should go ahead and impeach. Let there be more fire. But Shettima will be happy with that anyway, because when you impeach a city vice president, you definitely give him the full right and the full blow scale to go on an offensive. So he will definitely just join the next available power to get back to power. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu is power hungry, and he uses power to the maximum. That's what he did in Lagos. So yeah, he cannot be predicted, he can do it. But if his advisor and his strategist tell him, okay, why don't you play politics and cool down, there's possibility. But speaking as an activist right now, their party problem and all that should be none of the concern of Nigerians. The concern of Nigerians should be what is the productivity of Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the past 2-3 years, and it has been terrible. And that should be what they should use to judge him in terms of as we are looking forward towards another election. And they should be preparing to make sure he doesn't get that power right now. Don't wait until 2027. They should be preparing that right now, and they should not allow their drama they should get away, carried away with their drama. I will refer them back to Lagos, all the drama of Obasa and Sanwo-Olu and all that. They finished their fight. So Nigerians should not get involved in their party drama and all that. They should focus on what is their interest, which is the hunger, the starvation, the economic problem, and the insecurity that they are facing on a daily basis.
All right, let's talk about the issue of zoning. The current Minister of Arts, Musawa Hanato, said that the presidency should still be zoned to the south in 2027. And the question is, can Nigeria realistically move beyond regional zoning when top officials admit that national stability still depends on it?
So basically, I don't know why. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. Basically, I don't know why at this age and time, we still have old people or so-called professors that are still telling Nigeria that zoning. What does it mean? When the Nigerians sit down and agree that for them to have leaders at the federal level, it has to be zoned. Who sat down? Who made that decision? If that decision was made by some old crooks that have destroyed this country in the past, and all their political mathematics and formula have never helped in the progress of Nigeria or progress of their party, then we should stop talking about it. Because if we stop talking about it, that's the beginning of solving our problems. But when we allow some people that they feel that Nigeria belongs to them to box us into a corner of a decision to be made in terms of leadership, then we are still joking as a country. This is a country of over 200 million people. 5 of you cannot just sit down from the northeast and south and say, oh, it's time to zone the presidency to the north, time to zone it to the west. So what does it mean? So it's high time we start condemning this thing. It's nowhere in the constitution of Nigeria that leadership should be zoned. It's nowhere. If everybody wants to be in power, then we should separate now, and you can't be ruling in your zone, in your region. You don't have to zone anything. We should choose leadership based on character, integrity, records of an ideology. But if we still keep talking about leadership and we're talking about zoning, religion, tribe, then Nigeria is not going anywhere. The election of the United States of America was done based on Democrats and Republicans. Yeah, and you are not nobody. You might not even know where Trump comes from or where the other guy, the other lady comes from. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. But here in Nigeria, we want growth and progress, and we're talking about zoning. For me, it is a meaningless statement. It is. People that are ready to transform society should come out from every region and vie for the position, and let Nigerians vote based on their idea, based on their ideology, based on their manifestos and their integrity, who they are. If you zone the presidency to the east and the person coming from the east is a thief, you will suffer. If you zone it to the west and the person coming from the west is a thief, you will suffer, and everybody will suffer, both the northerners, the westerners, and the easterners. Same thing from the north. So it should not be a journalist, you have to help us. There's a need to change the trajectory of the thinkings of Nigeria, because all these things are intentional. When it's time for election, they start talking about zoning, they start talking about a party, they start talking about tribe, they start talking about evil coalition. It's intentional, boxing Nigerians. We should talk about who these people are. We talk about what their plans are for Nigeria. We talk about what they have done before for the country. That is what we'll be talking about, and it can come from anywhere. I don't mind being ruled by someone from the east, from Kanuri, from the west, from the most lowest region in terms of population of the country. What is important to me and what should be important to all Nigerians is who they are, and that's what we'll be talking about. Let's zone the presidency to a man of the people, not the tribe or the region that it comes from. We have done that and it has failed. Enough is enough.
All right, we've done that and it has failed. And of course, Dr. Anosike definitely buttresses that point as well, that competence and capacity should be the watchword. But the question is, are we ready? And of course, the journalists can do their part, but the elites have succeeded in making sure that that is always the conversation. Because when you say zoning, they are not zoning it to a competent northerner. They will not zone it to a competent southerner, but they will zone it amongst the elite themselves. And at the end of the day, I can still tell you that Atiku can still visit Tinubu today and they will have a drink together. And of course, no fighting. It's only this man on the street that is talking about zoning and so on and so forth. Well, now that takes us to the issue of talking about our educational sector, because we have to look at this properly. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAB) has addressed widespread misinformation surrounding Chinedu Okeke, 2025 UTME candidate. Contrary to claims on social media, JAM clarified that Okeke is from Amuodofin, Lagos State, not Anambra, and previously gained admission in 2021 to study medicine and surgery at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he is currently a 400 level student. The board questioned why he would now register for mechanical engineering, still enrolled in the medical program, citing inconsistencies in his personal information. JAM emphasized that it relies solely on data tied to candidates' national identification numbers and does not alter or insert personal records. The agency debunked allegations that it retrieved incorrect data from NIMC, maintaining instead that Okeke himself modified his details between 2021 and 2025 to appear eligible under a different state quota. JAMB has reinforced its collaboration with NIMC to prevent such manipulations going forward. While some have used emotional appeals to discredit the agency, JAMB affirmed its commitment to fairness and accountability, noting that it will continue to treat Okeke with due respect unless the university provides evidence to the contrary. However, if wrongdoing is confirmed, JAMB will notify relevant professional bodies, insisting that it must uphold the integrity in Nigeria's education system and protect opportunities for deserving candidates. Dr. Anosike, we are pressed for time, but we have to look at this properly. What does the Chinedu Okeke case reveal about loopholes in Nigeria's admissions and NIN-linked data systems?
For me, I'm confused about the whole issue.
Yeah, there are a lot of sides to the story.
So, are they really sure that the Chinedu Okeke of 2021 is the same Chinedu Okeke of 2025? Understand me?
Okay.
Are they sure that it is the same thing? Are they sure that it's because I don't even know how somebody can combine medicine and engineering. There's no way a student can combine medicine and engineering. Then taking University of Nigeria and Nsukka as an instance, medicine is in Enugu campus. Engineering is in Nsukka campus. Understand me?
He said he actually failed his medical exams and decided he wanted to start all over again. As registering to study engineering this time, he wanted to forfeit his medical course because he was no longer able to meet up. So
what's the controversy about that?
There's the controversy that in his first attempt, he said he was from Anambra, but now in the new attempt at JAMB, he's claiming Lagos amount of it. That is the words of JAMB. And Nigerians are not having it. They're saying that there's sentiment on the part of JAMB. The loopholes there. JAMB needs to be fair to this young man.
But how can Chinedu Okeke come from Amuodofi?
That's also the big question.
So how can Chinedu Okeke come from Amuodofi? For me, if he decides to abandon a course and start on over again, that is for him. Even if he decides to defer a course, understand me, and maybe go to read another course, that is still fair. I don't see anything wrong. Okay, my concern, if he had wanted that to combine medicine and engineering, which in University of Nigeria and Nsukka, where I also schooled, medicine and engineering are in different towns. Because in University of Nigeria and Nsukka, no, medicine are not in Nsukka, they are in Enugu. So there's no way he can combine it. There's no way. And medicine is a full course on itself. So if he felt that he cannot meet up after getting that to fourth year, now taking his second MBBS.
Yes.
So because
they said he failed his MBBS and decided he wanted to start all over again by going to engineering.
Okay, which means he's starting afresh.
Yeah, that's another side of the story. And they say that the issues the JAMB have with him now is that why the different data? Why one says he's from Anambra and he changed his data now saying that he is from Amuodofi in Lagos. So that's the biggest controversy of all.
That is a fraud now. That is falsification for me.
All right, let me go to our man. I know definitely you're online and you must have gone through this. Oh, he's out. Definitely, I would have loved to have his take on this. But should JAMB be held accountable, Dr. Anosike, for not detecting identity manipulation sooner, despite their reliance on NIN data?
Well, does those data work? That's to start with. Because many people in Nigeria have 2 NIN.
Really? Wow.
Many people in Nigeria have many NIN. And you have seen people have been arrested with 30 SIM cards. Understand me? So the data in Nigeria is not accurate. It is very easy to manipulate that to falsify things in this country. Understand? So, but I don't know what must have entered him for him that to go to be changing his statehood. Understand?
Maybe to give him access.
Access to
be able to
what?
write again. I don't know.
No, if he wants to stop, he has stopped one, he can continue with another one. Understand me?
So something fishy is actually going
If
on.
I want, I can enter for JAMB next year with Peter Anosike. That I already have my PhD does not make any meaning. I can go there to study as a different course, and it's still within my right to do it.
Some are saying that Jam may also be playing foul play, trying to discredit the man just because of where he's from or so on and so forth. But that's another. But does this incident damage the public trust in Jam's integrity?
This is a personal thing. It had nothing to do with ethnicity. That's that means.
Because the social media has gone viral all over this
it's
matter.
idle people. Even or there are things that I know that they do in Enugu State. Understand me?
Okay.
Which is that some people from Nsoka area, because Enugu is one of the educational advantage states, so they go to Kogi and Benue, which are educational disadvantaged states, to register as coming from there.
Okay.
So to take advantage of being educational disadvantage, where you can enter university with 120, with 140.
Okay.
Because Enugu is among the advantaged states. So I was thinking that this is the case, which I know it is rampant in those areas.
All right. Okay. Anyway, that's definitely wraps it up for us. And of course, I want to say big thanks, Dr. Anosike, for being awesome on the show this evening.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Today we've had the arguments and seen the lines are drawn. A vice president's words spark a constitutional storm. A minister's call reignites the debate on power rotation, and the national exam body defends its integrity against manipulation and misinformation. But beyond the headlines lies a deeper struggle for fairness, for truth, for the very soul of our democracy. Join us next time as we keep asking the questions that matter to the people who hold the power. This is the Issues Stay Awake. I am Jerry Apelohai. This has been the Issues on Voice of the People television, where the future faces forward. Have a great weekend.